Today is the turning of the page. We process in with pomp and circumstance, gathered in expectant waiting for the culmination of that for which you have worked so hard to achieve. Today is a day of joy and celebration, a day of remembering what has been and looking ahead with anticipation to what the future may hold. Soon you will be moving on, turning the page, going forth into the next chapter, off to new adventures, to new life. But not yet. First, we gather here to honor you and the work that you have done, to honor the learning and training you have engaged in and the people you have become. So may this time of celebration together be blessed with good memories, commissioning you to take all that you have gained here at Juniata College and to use it as you go forth into the world. Amen.
Good morning. Please be seated. What a beautiful day. To the members of the class of 2026, I wish you fulfillment in your career paths that you have chosen and your lifelong friends from Juniata. I extend sincere congratulations to you and to your parents, friends, and a warm welcome. Members of the platform party, trustees, alumni, faculty, and staff, I greet you and declare the formal opening of Juniata's 148th commencement. Whoa! I would now like to turn the program over to President Troja, Juniata's 12th president. Congratulations.
Good morning, and thank you, Carl. Oh, the nervous energy. Don't we like that? Graduates, just take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. Look around you, the blue skies, the sunshine, your family. It is great to be out here on the quad in this most beautiful morning as we celebrate the class of 2026, which, by the way, and if you will indulge me, includes my daughter, Natalie, who is completing her master's degree, and my nephew, Jack, who is earning his bachelor's of science degree. Special shout out to two of you. It's not every day I get to hand a diploma to a family member, so just wanted to slide that in there. Students, faculty, staff, I also want to acknowledge one final time that it has been a true blessing and an honor to be with all of you for this special year, our 150th. It's been a lot of fun. Before I get started, I want to send some love to all the moms and dads and other supporters out there. Students, please join me in a round of applause for your parents, your family, your supporters who made today possible. We need to get a little louder there toward the end. In addition to those family and friends that are with us today, we owe our collective thanks and deep appreciation to our talented and devoted faculty who have prepared all of you to be leaders in the diverse and complex world that you are about to embrace. I would like for my faculty, colleagues to stand so we can say thank you for their many contributions and deep commitment to Juniata and its students. Faculty, please rise. So I, of course, go back in previous years to look what I've said and maybe what I've not said. I was preparing my thoughts for today. I typically rally around a theme, maybe something that's happening in our world, a story, a personal anecdote, something like that to provide me a bit of an outline, a bit of some parameters, boundaries, because without boundaries, I can go. I don't know about you, but there's been a Noah Kahn documentary that's been out. I don't know how many of you seen it. Raise your hand. You a Noah Kahn fan out there? I see some hands. Great documentary. Go watch it. It was extraordinary. And I was thinking, I so bad wanted to somehow be creative like him and somehow, some way include him in today's remarks. I'm obviously not as talented as Noah Kahn. Nothing quite percolated. I went to lyrics, I went to different song titles to see if I can weave something in. I couldn't do it. Of course, all of you, I know, have probably in the back of your mind, for me and probably our other speakers, there's an old FDR quote that says, "Be sincere, be brief, and be seated." I hear you. It is not about us. It is about all of these smiling faces in front of me. So in that spirit, students, let me just say this. We are honoring two individuals, one of our very own, Cindy Valco, class of 1976, and Omar Abdala, a past visiting professor here at Juniata, two remarkable individuals that have exceptionally lived out the old anecdote that with knowledge comes responsibility. As you proudly walk out of Juniata this afternoon, as a proud Juniata graduate, and embark on what is your next journey, you too have that deep responsibility to serve and to make the lives of those around you better. As that journey unfolds, yes, it will be met with some uncertainty, some amount of disappointment, and yes, probably some criticism along the way. And it will come at you fast when you leave this little Juniata bubble. You want to avoid that criticism? Do nothing. Say nothing. Become nothing. But as you know, after your time here, that is not who we are as Juniatians. We push, we question, we take action to better the world in which we live. So yes, expectations rise after today. But one of my favorite quotes, Billie Jean King said, "Pressure is a privilege." And when still roughly a third of our country are without something beyond a high school diploma, the onus is on all of us to lift up, to create, to inspire. It's on us. So lean in, celebrate that, own that. And let's not forget that in addition to your academic credentials, students, your employers, your graduate schools also expect what I would characterize as A+ intangibles. And remember, you have the choice every single morning your feet hit the ground to shape those intangibles. People will soon forget your GPA, but they will never forget how you made them feel. It will be your strong character, your integrity, enthusiasm, positive attitude, and good judgment that will inspire the excellence I know you desire and that we all expect. And it's the person in the mirror each morning that has those choices each and every day. Choose wisely. In this sometimes bifurcated, overly political, and yes, artificially intelligent world we seem to live in today, it's my sincere hope that you demonstrate compassion, respect, and a simple kindness with those around you. So students, it's my deepest hope that you find the success that is yours, and you do so in a way that you and those around you will be proud. And when you do find that success, just remember to say thank you to some of those who made that success possible. Congratulations, class of 2026. My deepest thanks for your many contributions to this great college. Good luck and Godspeed. It is my sincere pleasure to introduce the senior class president, Danny Ortega, who I had a chance to get to know over his time with us, and what a great young man. Danny hails from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Let's hear it for Philly. POE in psychology with secondary emphasis in criminal justice and communication. He served as a Juniata associate for intramurals. In addition to his academic and leadership accomplishments, Danny was also dedicated Division III track and field athlete. Please welcome to the podium, Danny Ortega.
Wow. All right, quick question, everybody, or more of a statement. Could I get a photo? Actually, let me just. Everyone, smile. Thank you. I really wanted to do that. All right. So funny enough, I was going over my speech last night, and thinking of senior week, I made some revisions. So here we go. Distinguished faculty, family members, and a class of 2026. People love to say that college is where you find yourself, as if we all arrived here lost and were just waiting for an answer to appear. But I think we did something much better. Throughout these 4 years, we listened, we watched, we debated, and we celebrated together, growing into the graduates sitting here today. And even in our first semesters, whether we realize it or not, we were already carrying something with us, a kind of restlessness, something that refused to settle, what I've come to think of as the dreamer's disease. Sorry, it's hot out here. But before we jump into the present, let's talk about the past. We arrived here, a collection of reckless kids, defined by those late nights in Sunderland Lounge, where we said we'd stay for 10 more minutes and wind up staying till 2 a.m. We were just starting out, navigating the guilt phase, thank you, Max Locke, giving everything we had to those legendary tensing performances, putting in hours of hard work for something we barely understood, but fully believed in. And honestly, I wanted to acknowledge my classmates, for we did not arrive at a normal moment. We came to college after the world had been shut down, paused, and rewritten. We were part of the last group shaped by COVID. So, what does that mean? It means we had to figure out how to build community again, how to show up again, how to trust the process when nothing really felt guaranteed. And though times were hard, I believe we succeeded in these things, building a family. As I was writing this speech, I couldn't help but reminisce. Do you guys remember back then, freshman year, when our biggest challenge was making it to a 9 a.m. class after a night of chaos, while fighting the urge to not skip FYF? I remember. Well, look at us now. The beautiful thing about these last 4 years is that every single one of our journeys was different. But the best part of it was we didn't get to travel them alone. We had front row seats to each other's growth. We watched the people who struggle to stay awake in class become a voice filling rooms, standing up, speaking clearly, saying things that people actually stop to listen to. We saw friends who changed their POEs halfway through the year start over when it would have been easier not to. We saw the researchers, the ones who spent hours chasing the data that didn't always make sense, rerun things, start over, sit with failure longer than success, but refuse to walk away from the question. We watched our peers give back in ways that still baffle me. Athletes who balanced grueling practice schedules, early morning lifts, long bus rides, and still somehow found time that didn't seem to exist. The ones icing injuries while finishing assignments on their phone, showing up for their teammates even when their own energy was spent. We saw the people who held everything together quietly, the ones helping everyone else study, checking on friends, and showing up for people even though they had their own things going on. And we saw something even more important. We saw people who didn't believe they belonged here find their reason to stay through friends, faculty, and parents. That transformation from kids just looking for a good time to graduates looking for a way to make an impact, that's the real work that it took to get here. It wasn't just about the credits. It wasn't about the grades we got on our report cards. It was about the character we were building. Now, I know Gen Z, we're often labeled or have labels that don't quite fit. I've read phrases like financial nihilism or articles claiming we're the cynical generation, that we've given up on the American dream, or that we're too focused on money. But I think the writers are completely mistaken. They missed the mark completely. Because let's be real, there are pressures right now. The job search, the uncertainty, the feeling that everyone else has a plan and you're still figuring yours out. Some of us are going to walk across this stage with offers lined up. Some of us are going to walk across this stage with no idea what comes next. Most of us, we're somewhere in the middle. And yeah, we think about money. We think about stability, but not because we stopped dreaming. Funny enough, when Charles was talking about trying to find a theme for his speech and was looking at Noah Khan, I was also looking for a theme for my speech. And so I've also picked a lyric from a song. The song is "You Get What You Give" by the New Radicals. And the lyric is, "We have the dreamer's disease." That stuck with me since childhood. Sorry, technical difficulties. It says we have the dreamer's disease. Most people treat that like a problem, something you're supposed to grow out of before you step into the real world. I look at my class, and I see the opposite. We aren't focused on our careers because we lack dreams. We're focused because we're tired of seeing dreams go unfulfilled. We don't want money just for money's sake. We want the freedom to build the future we actually believe in. We see the world exactly as it is: competitive, uncertain, but more importantly, we see it for what it could be. And we're not willing to let that go. So, I say we have the dreamer's disease because we refuse to accept the world exactly as it was handed to us. We spent time in labs, on the stage, on the field, and in those late night conversations proving that we have the grit to make something real out of what we believe. So, class of 2026, as we walk across this stage, I ask you to hold on to that fever, Do not let the world cure you of your idealism or convince you that being realistic means giving up on your dreams. Take that loyalty we forged. Take that loyalty. Apologies. Take that loyalty we forged in those late night lounges. The resilience we learned in the early morning lifts. The discipline we found in labs. And go show them that this generation does not just work, we build. We do not just adapt, we push back. We do not just exist in the world as it is, we move it closer to what it could be. We are the class that dreams with our eyes wide open. With that, congratulations, class. Let's go make this happen. I want to thank God, Jesus Christ. I want to thank my mother and father. I want to thank Brooks Richardson, Colin Denault, and Matthew Tiernan for an amazing class. Congratulations.
Thank you, Danny. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you Danny McCauley and Abjana Bandari, who will read the introduction of our first honorary degree recipient, Dr. Omar Abdala. Danny, Abjana.
President Troha, trustees, faculty, guests, and the class of 2026. My name is Abjana Bhandari, and I'm here with Dan McCauley. This day belongs to the graduates, but Juniata has a storied tradition of pausing to recognize individuals whose lives serve as the North Star for all of us. And today, we have the distinct pleasure of introducing a man who very defines the essence of peace and human dignity, Dr. Omar Abdala. Let's be honest, it feels a bit surreal for Dad and me to be standing here on this stage, which is shared by so many distinguished Juniatian voices. This stage belongs to faculty, to guests, to accomplished individuals who have spent decades earning their place at a podium like this one. But a few months ago, Dr. Abdala personally called the two of us and asked if we would be willing to do his citation. His students to be the one to share his story with all of you. And I believe that this choice itself speaks a lot more about the man we are introducing today than any title ever could. To understand why he is receiving this honor, you must first understand the incredible journey that brought a state prosecutor from Cairo, Egypt, to the heart of Huntingdon. Long before he reached the Baker Institute of Peace and Conflict Studies here at Juniata, Dr. Abdala was already standing in the front lines of history. After earning his law degree from Ain Shams University, he served as the state prosecutor in Egypt's National Security Office. In the 1980s, he was tasked with one of the most significant investigations of the 20th century, the assassination of President Anwar el-Sadat. He spent years interrogating those who sought to destabilize an entire region. And while many would have remained in the courtroom, Dr. Abdala chose a different path. Having looked directly into the eyes of conflict, he decided to devote the rest of his life to the pursuit of peace. He earned his PhD from George Mason University and spent the next 3 decades building the foundations of reconciliation across 5 continents. As Vice Rector and Professor Emeritus of the United Nations-mandated University for Peace, he shaped the mind of global diplomats. He pioneered peace studies in the Arab world, founded in the In-Peace Institute, and today serves as the senior advisor for Karama, advocating for the human rights of Muslim women. From advising Nobel Peace Prize laureates to training hundreds of professors, his work has given an entire region the vocabulary to build a future without war. But as global as his reach might be, his most lasting lesson for us was not found in the textbook, but in the way he walked among us here at Juniata. And to speak on that impact, I would like to hand it over to Danny.
Thank you, Abjana. Dr. Abdala arrived at Juniata with his extensive credentials, but to us, he was never a collection of accolades or a lengthy CV. To us, he was an unwavering presence, a fixed horizon in a world of constant flux. He taught us to cultivate our own version of AI, artistic intuition. He defines this as a creative, intuitive element beyond the frameworks he supplied. He showed us that while logic and structure are necessary, moving toward a peaceful future requires something beyond just analysis. It requires creativity. He challenged us not to look at a conflict as a rigid problem to be solved with the frameworks he provided, but as an artist sees a blank canvas, envisioning possibilities beyond their reach. This artistic intuition is an irreplaceable element because even artificial intelligence cannot map out all of the creative solutions that linger in our souls. Our internal AI navigates conflicting perspectives with grace, guided by our curious minds and emboldened by hearts that refuse to harden. In a world that often dismisses sensitivity as a weakness, Dr. Abdala reminded me that empathy is our most vital tool, a strength ingrained into the very fiber of our being as we venture into careers dedicated to service and protection. He often shares a core lesson that serves as the unmoving bedrock of his wisdom. Nobody wakes up thinking they're the bad guy. This seemingly simple statement is a profound call to take a mental step back, to treat every human being with unconditional kindness, and to seek to understand their narratives before we arbitrarily judge them. Dr. Abdala, thank you for your tireless work instilling peace, not just across the globe, but within your classrooms. You have a rare gift for teaching in a way that allows all those you guide to find the peace already latent within themselves. So class of 2026, as you take flight from this roost, remember that peace is a generative act. It is all of our business, and daily acts of kindness are our most vital and unyielding asset. Veritas liberat.
Thank you both for that introduction. Dr. Bowen, Dr. Westcott, Dr. Abdala. Dr. Omar Abdala, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Juniata College and upon them by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereto pertaining. Congratulations. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you George Valco, class of 1975, who will read the introduction of our second honorary degree recipient and our guest speaker today, Cynthia Valco. George.
Good morning, distinguished platform guests, Juniata family. Congratulations to Dr. Abdala. I have the extraordinary honor of introducing my wife as this year's commencement speaker. So I get to talk a little bit about her personally and then some of her achievements, so please bear with me. Cindy and I have been married for almost 49 years, having met over in East Houses. What attracted me to her are not only things that are important to me, but things that have made her so successful in her career. She is smart. She's one of the smartest people I know, but her secret sauce is that she works hard and she does her homework. So if you deal with her, you have better done yours. She is strong. She has overcome much in her life, and then succeeded in a male-dominated industry. More intimately, she has beat 2 different types of cancers while working in this demanding career. She is caring, especially to those in need. She's down to earth and very modest about her accomplishments. She's a loyal friend. Some of our Juniata friends, along with our other lifelong friends, as well as our brothers and sisters, are here today as testament to this. She's athletic, having played varsity tennis here at Juniata. She likes to laugh. She especially enjoys funny movies and comedians, and she loves to eat. There were not many fine dining establishments in Huntington back in the day, but she did introduce me to fresh-cut French fries with gravy at Top's Diner on Route 22 after our first date to see Young Frankenstein. Still one of my favorite movies and definitely one of my favorite ways to have French fries. Cindy's POE was mathematics and theater. Quite a combination. This likely explains her meticulous attention to detail as well as her flair for the dramatic. These also have served her well in her career. And what a truly impressive career she has had. It began right here at Juniata's Career Day. She started as an underwriter in Harrisburg at the former Mother Aetna, at that time a leading national multi-lines insurance company. After a year there, we married. We moved to Philadelphia, where in time she rose to manager, then general manager of the Philadelphia region, then regional vice president. After that, she was called to Aetna's home office in Hartford, Connecticut, where she became part of the senior management team. That team ultimately transformed Aetna into its present form as a health insurance company. Since her expertise was in property and casualty, Cindy didn't stay with that new company, but with truly mixed feelings, she said goodbye to Aetna after 23 years there. After a year-long stint with Travelers Insurance in Pennsylvania, she was offered the Chief Operating Officer position at New York Life International. Her position involved extensive travel, doing joint ventures in China, Vietnam, Thailand, India, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, and others. I had the privilege of tagging along on many of these trips, playing tourist while she was working, although we did have time to explore together. I was also privileged to see her in action as she opened offices in these countries, helping to lead her new partners through the intricacies of doing business with a U.S. company. After leaving New York Life International, Cindy went on to work for a large private equity firm overseeing turnarounds and sales transactions for insurance industry. However, because of her well-earned reputation within the industry, she was quickly recruited to become the Chief Executive Officer, the CEO of Global Indemnity, a nationally publicly traded insurance company. This was her dream job, to run her own show. At that time, as I'm sure that it's true today, there's a paucity of women CEOs in any business in the country, and Cindy was a trailblazer. Currently, I'm proud to say, also wanted to add, that she was president of many boards and president of women's insurance and an international insurance, so she's had a terrific, besides all the other stuff she did with the companies. Currently, I'm proud to say that she gives back to our community in her retirement through the volunteer work at our local outreach house. Throughout her tenure and at all her stops, Cindy left companies in much better financial and operational shape than when she started. Her most treasured work legacy, however, was that her managers, staff, and all workers felt better valued, motivated, and educated because of her leadership. Her most treasured overall legacy is to be known as a good person, friend, and a family member, especially to our many nieces and nephews, including those we call family by choice, as well as a mom to our crazy beagle. Cindy has been my best friend and the best part of these last 49 years. President Troha, I am honored to present Cynthia Valco for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Cynthia Valco, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Juniata College and upon them by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereto pertaining. Congratulations.
Well, I've been married to him for 49 years, and that's the first time I've ever heard a full litany of all these things I did. I'm praying I don't have to pay you for that later. Chair Glazer, President Troha, Provost Bowen, wherever, trustees, faculty, alumni, family, friends, and of course, the graduates. It has truly been an honor to be here today, and quite honestly, given all of the past outstanding commencement speakers, it is extremely humbling to even be considered for this honor. What could I possibly impart to you that you don't already know or have heard of? So instead of pretending that I have all the answers, let me share what I have learned the hard way, what I call mostly by failing forward. It's hard to believe that 50 years ago, I was sitting right where you are today. I enjoyed my 4 years here at Juniata, and I thank the Lord. There were no camera phones, social media, because back then, instead our history was passed down like in the olden days. We retold every story at a reunion, and we absolutely embellished every telling. I can still feel the excitement with all my classmates as we were on the threshold to being in the workforce and earning money. Fear was more a part of that. We were comfortable here for 4 years, and now we were facing the real world. According to the author, Robert Schuller, the one battle that most people lose is the battle over fear of failure. I certainly knew that was me when I arrived here, and I certainly, as I said, felt that same way 4 years later at graduation, sitting where you are today. Believe me, I have failed more times than I can count. So how do you win this battle? Or better said, how do you fail your way to success? Some years, let me share the 40 years of my life and what has made a real difference, certainly from my family side as well as the business side. Humility and what is called emotional intelligence, or EQ. I'm not talking about IQ or having good luck or who do you know, but understanding others. As I always told my managers when I started working with them, I truly believe that you have to grab people's hearts so that their minds will follow. In other words, help those around you feel the excitement or accomplishing something towards a common goal. Let me start with my backstory. I started out with very little. I was raised by my grandmother and my father, and neither one finished high school. My grandmother was the strongest woman I ever knew. She outlived 2 husbands, but she made it on her own at the age of 61 as a cook until she was 75. My father was funny, caring, and everyone loved him. And both were very, very hard workers. In fact, I didn't see much of my father as he traveled a lot for his work. Both, however, instilled in me a great work ethic, as well as a sense of fair play and the humility that has served me well. Unfortunately, my grandmother passed when I was 14 years old. And for 18 months, I went to live with a couple that was from my church. Both Mary and Bob had graduated from college and had good jobs. Mary, in fact, graduated from Juniata. I had never even thought about going to college until they started to push me forward. I did work hard in high school, and my grades allowed me to be accepted to some great schools. But Mary exemplified a lifelong love of learning as a teacher that started right here at Juniata. So my choice became easy. I had to work my way through college. As a matter of fact, I worked right down the street at the Wise Markets. However, I do thank the Lord every day for the assistance I received from Juniata. I am not sure that I would have been here without financial support from my alma mater. Like many of you, we offer our thanks to Juniata by paying the support forward. My point in all of this is that I realized in those early years of hard work, it makes you appreciate what you have, and nothing worthwhile is handed to you. I never lost that humility. I continued to climb to a CEO of a public company. I really didn't change who I was, and I always tried to stay grounded and honest. Trust me when I say this to you. We all want the same thing. We want to be valued and be recognized for that value. And I'm certainly not alone in this. I recently heard an interview from Bob Iger, who led Walt Disney World for 20 years until he retired recently. He started doing labor on televisions and then moved over to become a weatherman. And ultimately, we know, rose to the top while staying humble and appreciating the people around him. He still remembers where he came from. And to this day, he says that is the reason that he has been successful and working with his people so closely. In the business world, humility taught me to listen before I spoke and to keep my ego in check, along with valuing every other voice in the room. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, gave me the tools to understand those voices. Together, they became my edge to grabbing the hearts and the minds. I further learned that talent and IQ may open doors, but humility and EQ will keep them open and help build something that's going to last. Now, don't get me wrong. I had no idea what emotional intelligence was when I started here at Juniata. In my program of emphasis were classes such as the one I took at the beginning with Dr. Jim Laxo, called Modes of Thought. Here I was, a math major. What did I know about modes of thought, or anything to do with it for that matter? I quickly realized something, that when I do fail at something, I need some self-awareness to recognize it. I asked myself, what did I miss? Or, what should I take away from this? That is what modes of thought made me do. I didn't do well when I started in this class, too worried about failing, but I started to listen to my head, and I realized that I was building some new tools here, and as I think back on it, I was just starting to realize what EQ was. The final in this class was one of the most fun I ever had taking a final, if you can believe that. And I did ace it. Well, working in a corporate world early on, I started hearing all about emotional intelligence, EQ versus IQ, and I latched onto it. Many leader seminars started using these terms back in the early 2000s. Studies at that time showed that IQ explains only 25% of career success, while EQ accounts for 58% of success with all managers. And add on top of that, top leaders, CEOs with high emotional intelligence were 4 times more likely to succeed than those without it. As I learned from many seminars, books, and those dreaded 360 reviews by one's own staff, emotional intelligence was critical to anyone who dealt with people. As Daniel Goleman described in his work on emotional intelligence, it rests with 5 key abilities. First, self-awareness, as I've already mentioned. This helps you recognize when your own emotions and you feel the fear. When you hear that voice that I'm not good enough, self-awareness lets you name it and control it. And try not to take things so personal when they go wrong. Believe me, that has been me many, many times. And I know now how to call it and stop it. Number 2, self-management. Pause in order to manage the emotions. Take a breath and choose the next steps instead of getting angry or blaming yourself. As a CEO, I learned not to act defensively when the board criticized me. This was a hard one to learn, believe me, and I was still learning it when I retired. Third, motivation. Your internal drive towards goals beyond external rewards. This is what will keep you going. You need to say that this matters. Not the money, not the accolades, but rather the people and what you want to accomplish. Fourth, social skills. As many of you already know, building and managing relationships and teams is one key to success. But you must communicate clearly, and not just through texts and not just through emails. Clearly, honestly, even if it hurts. And be accessible to all of those people that need your help. These traits are going to help you later resolve conflict and help inspire. Fifth, and lastly, and most importantly, and Dr. Troha made a comment, empathy. Understanding and investing in the emotions of others. In my international work across many different cultures, caring always shows through. This was critical when I was setting up joint ventures in countries like China and India, and my partners had to know that I understood what they wanted, not just me. And I remember when I first became a CEO and the board had already given me my marching orders. Improve the results, or you may have to sell the company. Great choices. Talk about fear. My first task was to meet with the management team. I knew all of the 6 managers, key executives, had no idea who I was or what my plans were. And I am sure there was fear in all of their minds. My opening remarks were this. I want you to think of this as your first month on the job. And what do you want to change in your department? What baggage do you have? And what do you think you need to do in order to fix it? And I told them, let's take 90 days to work together and figure this out. There will be no judgment. There will be no right or wrong, no good or bad. Just lay it out on the table so that we can solve it together. This was me trying to manage some of their fear and emotion, and yet providing some empathy. Ultimately, yes, a couple of the executives didn't make the cut or decided not to continue, but they all got a chance to try and to overcome some of that fear and work as a team. Graduates, think about the next few years. You'll send out resumes and you're going to get silence. You'll pitch ideas that get shot down. You'll compare yourself to others who seem to have it all together on LinkedIn. In those moments, please remember, the battle isn't against others. It's against your own fear inside. Humility will keep you learning, keep you open, and emotional intelligence will keep you steady. Together, they're going to turn "I can't" into "I'm figuring it out." Lastly, let's think about the point of EQ in today's world. AI, already handling a lot of the technical, high IQ stuff. The human edge is what we're talking about. And if you believe this only applies to business, you are wrong. Customers, patients, bosses, boards, all need to know that you can relate and understand the personal touch. Emotional intelligence gives you those tools to navigate that human edge. As I have already mentioned, working as a chief operating officer for a large international company helped me better understand the cultural differences and create a level of trust with my partners. Also, having international experience gave me the opportunity to use my new learned skills that led me to my CEO position. As an aside, I applaud Juniata for being one of the top colleges that emphasizes learning through experience, especially studies abroad, as well as recruiting students from other countries to be part of the culture. This is invaluable. As you combine the emotional intelligence components with humility, you will have a powerful edge. Humility makes you ask the questions, while EQ gives you the tools to overcome the fear. Juniata, as I have learned, stresses these through its institutional learning objectives, and it is your job to hone these skills throughout your life and your career. Bottom line, if you stay humble enough to keep growing as a person and emotionally intelligent enough to lead with your heart, you can win over the fear of failure. You're never going to be perfect. You're going to fail. But how gracefully that you can get back up and coach others to know it is okay to fail. Those around you will know how to fail to success. The world needs your unique combination of heart, humility, and wisdom. So, go fail your way to success, and please bring others with you. Congratulations to each and every one of you and to your families, and may God bless all of you. Thank you.
Okay, are we ready? It is now time to bring up Dr. Lauren Bowen, our provost, our chief academic officer, who's going to present the candidates for degrees. Dr. Bowen.
Good morning. And if I forget to say it later, congratulations. So, will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Accounting, Master of Applied Ecology and Natural Resource Management, Master of Bioinformatics, Master of Business Administration, Master of Data Science, Master of Education and Special Education, Master of Organizational Leadership, and Master of Public Health, please rise as you are able. President Troja, I have the honor to present 40 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the master's degree.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of Juniata College and upon them by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I now confer upon you the degree Master of Accounting, Master of Applied Ecology and Natural Resource Management, Master of Bioinformatics, Master of Business Administration, Master of Data Science, Master of Education and Special Education, Master of Organizational Leadership, and Master of Public Health, with all the rights and privileges thereto pertaining.
Will the candidates come forward as I call your names to receive your degrees and to be hooded? Nolan Q. Allen, in absentia. S. Alana Anamanthadu, in absentia. John Carlos Batista, in absentia. Sarah Suzette Betts, in absentia. Jason Brandon, in absentia. Haley Holly Brilla. Ryan Castanera. Jeremy Ryan Chen C. Kristen Nell Dion. Olivia Graciela Foley. Luke Michael Grove, in absentia. Sarah E. Haltman. Nathaniel Burke Harris. Abigail Lee John, in absentia. Megan Elizabeth Jordan. Kushi Rajesh Kanani. Mohini Kedakar. Gianna Marie Leone. Erica Joy Lieberger. Samuel Benjamin Montez. Charles Jeffrey Newman. Sylvia Maria Ortega. We would like to recognize Sylvia at today's ceremony for earning both an undergraduate and a graduate degree. She earned her Bachelor of Science in December of 2025 and will complete her Master's degree in Business Administration this summer. Logan Michael Peachy. Ethan Michael Peffer. Tyler Andrew Phillips. Lucas Murphy Polglaze. Prav Ramakrishnan. We would like to recognize Prav at today's ceremony for earning both her undergraduate and graduate degrees. She earned her Bachelor of Science degree in December 2025, summa cum laude, and she will complete her Master's degree in Bioinformatics this summer. Jason Ramirez, in absentia. Brandy Lynn Ray. Tara Peggy Richard, in absentia. Sierra Noel Rossman, in absentia. Krishna Priya Santosh, in absentia. Julian Jeremiah Scagliotti, in absentia. Ariella Tamaris, in absentia. Kelly Lynn Toronto. Ari Tendo, in absentia. Harley Jade Toma. Sarah Grace Thompson, in absentia. Luin Con Tong. Natalie Jane Troha. Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Accounting, Master of Applied Ecology and Natural Resource Management, Master of Bioinformatics, Master of Business Administration, Master of Data Science, Master of Education and Special Education, Master of Organizational Leadership, and Master of Public Health, please rise as you're able. You are now officially Juniata graduates. Congratulations. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science please rise as you are able? President Troja, I have the honor to present 259 candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the Bachelor degree of Arts and Bachelor degree of Science.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of Juniata College and upon them by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I now confer upon you the degree Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science with all of the rights and privileges thereto pertaining.
Will the candidates come forward as I call your names to receive your degrees? Ramon Jose Abreu Young Alberto. Buvi Ajmera, cum laude. Caden James Alexander. Ashley Nicole Alfrey. Dominique Makeda Amisial. Charles Evan Bakken, summa cum laude. Caitlin N. Balmer Brown, summa cum laude. Olivia Grace Barbacci, in absentia. Silas Ulysses Barr. John Samuel Bajera. Carolyn Grace Barshinger, magna cum laude. Haley Louise Cole Bauer, magna cum laude. David Michael Beard. Trey William Bennett, magna cum laude. Olivia J. Berg. Danielle Therese Berlin, summa cum laude. Aditya Bhattacharya. Kirsten L. Biddle, magna cum laude. Zoe Rebecca Biles, cum laude. Luke Allen Bittner. Brianna Jade Bodorf, magna cum laude. Dawson Wade Boer. Ryan Michael Branson. Kelvin Esmil Brito. Sarah Alicia Berlitrick. Ethan Barry Brown, magna cum laude. Brianna Ivy Brubaker, in absentia. Wyatt Michael Buell. Jian Nyok Kwe Bui, cum laude. Connor Jeffrey Bunnell, summa cum laude. Olivia Ann Burke. Valicia Abigail Byfield. Allison Argentina, let me try that again. Allison Argentina Cano Racinos. Jade N. Carper, magna cum laude. Nuria Castesoge Carbouche. Sarah Paige Chatton, cum laude. Simeon Chen, in absentia. Ashley Grace Chung, cum laude. Tamuna Shabra. Timothy Coleman. Caden Andrew Collins. Adrian Laurent Stewart Callot. Riley Faith Connors. Emma May Coolidge. Ethan Zachary Cooper. Jane Susanna Corbin. Gavin W. Corrado, in absentia cum laude. Kelsey May Covert. Charlotte Nicole Crane. Carmen Elizabeth Cummins, summa cum laude. Jackson Thomas Cunane, cum laude. Gillian Rose Cunningham, summa cum laude. Jillian E. Delansky, magna cum laude. Akeem Amor Lee Davidson. Braden Harold Davis. Jackson Robert Del Judas. Colin Patrick Denault, cum laude. Jiyoung Dong, magna cum laude, in absentia. Mia Francis DeStefano, cum laude. Harmon Cor Dalival, in absentia, cum laude. Logan Anthony Douglas. Chloe Catherine Dunn, cum laude. Olivia Maya Dway, in absentia. Maggie Lee Eckroat, summa cum laude. Aaliyah Faith Eisenberg, in absentia. Jacob Matthew Elston. Jack Richard Engel. Davin Esbenshade, summa cum laude. Gabriella E. Feltman. John Ryan Finchak, cum laude. Grace Caroline Finch, magna cum laude. Carter D. Fisher. Shane Setsuo Frank. Sean Andrew Gamble, cum laude. Jackson Davis Gamble, cum laude. Addison Marie Gainey, summa cum laude. Sophia Renee Ganley. Fabian Garfias Izquierdo. Mia Hope Gianni. Mary Rose Grant, magna cum laude. Harshan Graywall. Cole Michael Gross, magna cum laude. Corinne Shea Grubb, magna cum laude. Samuel Ryan Gunning. Sienna Faith Gatormson, cum laude. Jenna Nicole Haney. Samantha Sue Hanson. Olivia Grace Harden, summa cum laude. Christopher B. Hartman, summa cum laude. Gavin Hearn. Kaylin Grace Heatley, cum laude. Madison Noel Heidler, in absentia, cum laude. Olivia Margaret Henry, magna cum laude. Zachary William Henshaw, summa cum laude. Madison Marie Hockenberry, cum laude. Maisie Lorraine Hoover, magna cum laude. Ji Yang Hu, summa cum laude. Karis Ethan Huff Love. Jace A. Irvin, summa cum laude. Madhushri Ram Iyengar, magna cum laude. Ji Zhang. Jared Tyler Johnson, summa cum laude. Hee Chun Jung, summa cum laude. JJ Anthony Just. Sarah Sanjay Kadam. Mackenzie Noel Kapuscinski, summa cum laude. Josephine Jean Kelly, summa cum laude. Prashante Kadka, summa cum laude. Ahad Khan. Nyop An Hong, summa cum laude. Woljun Kim, in absentia, summa cum laude. Mackenzie Rose Kissinger, cum laude. Walter John Cavala, summa cum laude. Rachel A. Neural Warren, summa cum laude. Robert Knight. Shah Kotagondla, magna cum laude. Connor James Krahulik. Dylan Carter Cries, in absentia, summa cum laude. Ethan Jake Kreitzer. Caitlin Dawn Lane. Kaylani Ray Lashinsky, magna cum laude. Ian T. Lawver, magna cum laude. Cassandra Nicole Lease, cum laude. Kalia Grace Lesher, summa cum laude. Yvonne Bethann Lynch. Kaya Ryan Lester, cum laude. Sophia Marie Liberator, cum laude. Zina Lizanov. Maximus Mario Locke. Samuel Benjamin Lonstein. Shungjo Lu, magna cum laude. Shania Lorena Lunsford, cum laude. Tyler Benjamin Mack, magna cum laude. Blake Patrick McGill. Alessandro David Menino. Isaac Griffith March. Brandon Thomas Marzullo, cum laude. Caleb Michael Massari. Jonah Winston Matthews. Devin E. Mauger, magna cum laude. Ty Henry Mazzarella. Emily Marina McCann, summa cum laude. Nicholas Ryan McCann. Daniel James McCauley, cum laude. Brendan William McCorkle, summa cum laude. Theo Eric McWilliams, summa cum laude. Brandon Emilio Medina. Connor Gregory Meisner. Sierra Maya Malat. Joseph L. Minke, summa cum laude. Rebecca Nicole Mensch, magna cum laude. Ava Merced, summa cum laude. Danielle Page Michael, summa cum laude. Marlena J. Miller. Miles E. Miller. Samantha McKinnell Moffitt, cum laude. Nicole Montes Perez. Samantha Lynn Moyer, magna cum laude. Alexander Roy Mullen. Dylan Joseph Murphy. Savannah Maria Murray. Audrey Lynn Muth, magna cum laude. Saya Nagese. Snavu Nupain in absentia. Gilbert Chamilier Odagu. Danny Ortega Jr. Giovanna Curran Pacheco. Vance Marshall Palazzari. Janvi Patel, magna cum laude. Abigail Faye Patterson. Daniel K. Patrico, cum laude. Daniel Paul Peacher, cum laude. M. Perigo, cum laude. Andrew Kim Perhamus, cum laude. Shuang Huang Pham, in absentia, cum laude. Robert Gregory Pliska. Faith Pauline Polcha, summa cum laude. Maxime Pustas, in absentia. Isaiah Noble Palace. Matthew Collins Quigley, magna cum laude. Gavin Burke Rahat, magna cum laude. Jonathan Michael Ritos, cum laude. Talbot Michael Reed Jaquay. Sophia Josephine Repholz, magna cum laude. Brooks Auden Richardson. Lincoln Dean Riddle. Nakaya Kiafa Marie Robinson. Olivia Danielle Rodriguez. Connor Michael Ram, cum laude. Alexander Michael Ross. Aaron Lee Rothermel, magna cum laude. Gracie Jean Rook, cum laude. Alexander Santos. Carter Jack Sauer. Ethan N. Schroeder. Kara Michelle Scotty, summa cum laude. Madison B. Sipe, magna cum laude. Shub Cethia, magna cum laude. Dylan Shaneberger, in absentia. Ethan Eberly Shank. Marissa James Shawley. Jack Edward Shelton. Madison Ray Schull, magna cum laude. Lawrence Lee Singer. Jaden Christiana Lucy Slovic, magna cum laude. Madison Haley Smith. Victoria L. Smith, summa cum laude. Isatu Sanko, summa cum laude. In absentia. Erica Jasmine Sorto Vaida. Christina Nicole Sparks. Brianne Grace Spencer, magna cum laude. Octavian Lee Sperry, in absentia, magna cum laude. Marcus St. Pierre. Emma Louisa Steinhoff. Skylar Noel Stevens. Emma Carol Strasser. Grace Kelly Strayer, magna cum laude. Jessica Rose Suarez. Bob Sun. Huan Abby Sunchin, magna cum laude. Marin Caroline Swank, summa cum laude. Claire Alexa Thomas, cum laude. Alexandra Joanne Thompson, summa cum laude. Jasper Thompson. Finn Cameron Thornhill. Matthew Brame Tiernan, magna cum laude. Benjamin Isaac Richard Umstead. Griffin Adam Umstead. Alexa Nicole Vian, summa cum laude. Mary Ellen Grace Wagner, magna cum laude. Shandy Lee Walker, summa cum laude. Joseph Edward Walsh IV. Cheyenne Lane Walter Horath, magna cum laude. Wang Shiying. Shichung Wang. Cole Daniel Wishleski, magna cum laude. Christopher Sho Watson. Hannah R. Weber, magna cum laude. Nathan James Wyke, summa cum laude. Ryan Elizabeth Whiteman, magna cum laude. Ella C. Whitman, summa cum laude. Andrew Joseph Williams, magna cum laude. Haley Lynn Williamson, cum laude. Elena Maria Winslow. Sage Nicole Winters, cum laude. Haley Rose Wolverton, summa cum laude. Xiaoping Xie. Zhao Xie. Xingyuan Yan. Liliana Gadathad Yeagley, magna cum laude. Amelia Grayson Yordy. Alexandra E. Young. Scarlett T. Young, magna cum laude. Ronjie Zhang. Yeli Jing. Benny Sad Stephen Zugrana. Will the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science candidates please rise as you are able? Yeah, that's right. And now you are officially Juniata graduates, and you may flip your tassels. Please be seated.
Okay, how about a round of applause for Dr. Bowen? Boy, she works hard at all those names. She spends countless hours working with all of you. Kudos, Dr. Bowen. All of our graduates, once again, congratulations. Students, I want to hear you a little bit louder this time. Round of applause for your supporters, your families and friends that are here with you today. Let's give them a round of applause. I want to thank Lisa Bear, Ben and Cindy Latimer for our baccalaureate service last night. John Bukowski, where is John back here, providing our music today. Thank you, John. Our facilities crew, our public safety officers, thank you for helping bring all of this together. Our IT and marketing team, Parkhurst, who provided a wonderful event last night. Thank you for all of your continued good service. Our conference and event staff, Lori Panaya, CJ, Zach Foltz, wherever you are, thank you for helping pull today together. Our faculty marshal, Kathy Westcott, thank you. And all of our staff and faculty are part of our commencement committee. Thank you very, very much, with a special thank you to Marisa Faust, wherever you are, Marisa, who leads this fine effort. Thank you very, very much. We've had a beautiful day, but at this time, I'd like to ask Beck Mensch to lead us singing the alma mater so we can finish it out. Please remain standing as you are able for the benediction. Remain in your seats until the trustees, faculty, and our graduates have recessed. Beck.
To Juniata College dear, in praise we raise our song, the place of loyal hearts and cheer, which we have loved so long. We love the pathways to and fro, the classrooms and the halls. We'll never forget though far we go, the days within her walls.
You made it. You're graduates. Today truly is a day of joy and celebration. I wish I could tell you that it was going to be smooth sailing from here on out, but that is unfortunately not how it works. There's still plenty of brokenness in the world, and you head out into uncertainty, but we don't just celebrate when it's happily ever after. Joy and celebration push back against the brokenness, because joy is a refusal to give in to cynicism and despair. Celebration draws us together. It gives us glimpses of the world that we're working together toward and lets us practice being a community of abundance together. You go out into the world ready. Not alone, but together. You go out with new skills and a new community with the ability to make the world better. It won't happen overnight, but you can make a difference. Find imperfect communities and commit to them. Find broken systems and work to make them better. You have been trained for this. Not because you know everything, but because you've been trained to learn, to seek, to ask good questions and find answers. You are ready for the next chapter. So take what you have learned, the friendships you have forged, the relationships with mentors you have cultivated. Take all of it as you go out and make the world better. Amen.